Thank you, Mr. President. I would let Steve Nwosu ask the next question, because we definitely will be coming back to Fatima. I can see that she's eager to follow up that question, but I would want to spread it round, so I'll let Steve Nwosu ask the next question.
Mr. President,
I'm bothered with the timeline and targets we've set for what to do with the funds we will raise from this deregulation. I'm worried more about the new refineries that are coming. For let's say 12 years of democracy, we've been running around with 3-4 refineries and we've not gotten any rights. We've given out licenses, about 20 the last time I heard, for people to come and build refineries. Nobody. Now, sir, we couldn't manage refineries well to serve us. We gave licenses, they couldn't build licenses, they couldn't build refineries. Now we want to say, we're saying that we are going to build 3 new refineries. Sir, who are we going to import to do these 2 new refineries? What problem in the system have we addressed to make sure that those new refineries will take off?
Thank you for that, because that is a clear statement endorsing deregulation. Because we believe that the downstream activities, in fact the whole oil business, but now we are talking about the downstream, is better handled by the private sector. Refining, petrochemical, fertilizer, gas, all this will be better handled by the private sector. We have 4 refineries, yes, 1 in Kaduna, 2 in Port Harcourt, and 1 in Warri. But how have we been managing these refineries over the years? Government has been managing the refineries. Because of the government bureaucracy, there was a time when we came in as a vice president then, when we called NNPC, why are the refineries in this state? You know, government privatized 2 of the refineries even before I came in with Yaradua. But by the time we came in, there was so much complaint. The workers in these areas feel so threatened. And as a new government, the president then couldn't stand the pressure. So we took back the refineries. None of these refineries is producing at up to 70% in stock capacity. Because over the period, the turnaround maintenance have not been done by the real contractors or the companies that build the refineries. Sometimes, for one reason or the other, people just get these contracts to do the turnaround maintenance, and it's not properly done. Just like your car, if you don't give them to a mechanic that really understands the car, and you continue to give your car to a mechanic that is not an expert in that car, the car cannot last the number of years that car is due to last. That's the problem with our refineries. So the first, let me even talk about the existing refineries before we go into the new ones. Even the existing refineries now, I insisted and I directed the Minister of Petroleum Resources that they must get back to those who build these refineries for us. Luckily, those companies have not folded. So they agreed to come. They've come to the preliminary assessment. They are working about the details how what will cost them, and they will enter into the contractual arrangement. And I said that because of the number of years it has not been properly maintained, they will come and they will do their best, but they can just take it up to 90% in stock capacity. So we cannot even, our existing refinery cannot produce up to 100% because we've not been doing the real turnaround maintenance. So that is that. Then for the new ones, government is no longer going to wholeheartedly build refineries. For we build that is something that's been done better by the private sector. And that's one of the areas we're talking about, the deregulation. We want to make sure that Nigerians and their foreign business partners come in and build refineries. But to make sure we take off very effectively, government wants to own 20 to 25%. The present tree we are talking about with a total capacity of 400,000 barrels per day production. We're talking to some Chinese group. We want to make sure it should be government to government. This one, our target is to take 20%, but government doesn't want to take more than 25%. And even if this 20-25%, immediately the refineries are functioning, government will divest it to Nigerians. The idea is that people are coming with their funds. And if government leaves it open, maybe the 100% of the refinery will be owned by foreign investors, and government want to own a part of it. We encourage Nigerian businessmen to keep it. So even the one will own will be divested. The idea is that NNPC will completely pull away from trading in petroleum products, from managing refineries. NNPC will concentrate in their regulatory responsibilities, and the NPDC, the petroleum arm of NNPC, will be competing with the other oil companies to also produce oil. Probably the only area for that will be asked NNPC within this period to concentrate is building our reserves. Nigeria is the only country that if we have crisis today, we don't have reserves that can last us for within 2 months. The last time I asked about the reserves, which was early part of this month, the GMD told me that we have reserves that can last us for 55 days. There are some countries that don't even produce oil. They will tell you that they have reserves that will last them for 6 months. Some have reserves that will last them for 1 year. Because if there is crisis between Nigeria and some other area, one of the areas will cut you off is your source of energy. So countries build reserves. Nigeria is the only country that produces oil that will have reserves that last us days. So that is the only area we want NNPC to concentrate. Nigeria should have a minimum of 6 months reserves. We have 6 geopolitical zones. So, but apart from building our reserves, so that if there are problems, we can easily get products. We don't need to queue up. NNPC or government will pull away from trading and managing refineries.
Okay, Your Excellency, I will take you up, or we will discuss this a bit more extensively, but the area I'll very quickly take you up before I let Shaif Hashibah take the next question is you mentioned that those who fail to do, that there are people who have failed us by not doing the turnaround of our refineries properly, and they can be likened to the mechanics who didn't repair our cars properly. Now, those who have done this, and they have been paid, what is government doing to ensure that they will not get away with this?
I don't want to indict. I'm not indicting people. You see, it's like me now as a president. I preside over executive council, and we award contracts. You advertise, and various contractors tender. And the technical will select. And most cases, yes, they say that this company, from the assessment, they are technically qualified to build a road for you. Then, of course, the papers come to council and you approve. Of course, there are very good contractors that will quote very high. Some contractors quote lower. But so when you assess ordinarily, you feel all of them will do the job. It is when you give out the job, then you begin to know that there's difference between the contractors. So it's not as if those who awarded the contracts to these companies did it deliberately. But what I'm saying is that there is difference between the person who manufactures. And if you look at our procurement laws, the procurement laws allow for maximum competition. So anybody who can repair your, do your turnaround maintenance is free to apply.
But where the person fails, what do
you may not know. You will not know. That's what I'm saying. You will not know.
But the end result, Your Excellency, has shown that some of these people have failed to deliver because our refineries are still not working properly.
They are still refining. They are still refining. But I'm only saying that because their competencies are not the best. So they are reducing the functionality of the refineries.